industrial IT security, cybersecurity in the context of Industrie 4.0 and digitalization. Now, industrial IT is, so to say, the new attack frontier. And without successful implementation of security, no digitalization, can't even exist. So this is what we're going to talk about now with our expert. His name is Dr. Rolf Reinemer. Welcome. The presenter, I'll give you the presenter. Here we go.
Okay.
Go for it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, industrial IT has really become the frontier for cybersecurity. You know that Siemens is leveraging digital technologies to manage digitalization, to provide value for its customers. Therefore, cybersecurity is really key in everything what we do. We address this during the design and engineering of our products, during service and maintenance. So it has really become the foundation of the things that we are doing. And cybersecurity is really a key success factor for digitalization. Digitalization, everything has two coins. Digitalization has some advantages, but it has also some disadvantages. One thing is that, of course, you can connect everything, but everything being connected also opens huge attack vectors to hackers. Second thing, as everything needs to interact with everything else, you need to have open interfaces. Everything is open, so that also means everything can be accessed and everything can be attacked. So IT security is really in the focus of digitalization. For us at Siemens, there is a third important factor, as we are one of the key providers for components for critical infrastructures. This is really of interest to the bad guys, attacking such critical infrastructures, creating blackouts, etc. So this even increases the importance of cybersecurity. We also see this if we look at some of the most recent incidents, some of the most attacks. So attacks on industrial IT infrastructures have really increased over time. Critical infrastructures are at the focus of the bad guys. So you see various examples. Of course, it did not, everything did not start with Stuxnet in 2010, but it has grown over time, and there is growing interest in these attacks. So what is the issue then? I mean, you could say, we are talking about IT security in the office IT space, or in the IT space as we call it, since many years. So where's the issue? There are some differences when it comes to the OT space, the operational technologies, because these technologies and infrastructures do have some different characteristics than typical IT infrastructures have. First of all, it's the lifetime of the products. We are not talking about lifetimes of our products of 3 to 5 years, which is quite typical in the IT space. Our products are in the field for 10, 20, even 30 years. So that means we have to manage IT security over quite a long time. The second factor is real time. When you are not able to access your email for a minute, it doesn't mean a lot. If you are in a production environment and can't communicate for a minute, that can have huge consequences here. So that's really something you need to be able to address. And thirdly, in the OT world, not everything speaks IP and not everything speaks web. So we have a vast variety of protocols being used in the industrial IT world, which you also need to be able to manage. So there are some differences here, and that means you can't just apply one-to-one what you have been doing in the IT space. You can't just apply it to the OT space. So what does it mean for us? It means successfully managing cybersecurity requires a holistic approach. It requires a mix of people, processes, and technology. So as engineers, we are always used to throw a certain piece of technology if there is a problem, but this problem we can't simply solve with just putting technology on top of it. So what are the capabilities that we need to have? First of all, we need to be able to identify what are the attacks, what are the threats that we're being confronted with, what are the latest trends in this area. Secondly, we need to focus, of course, on protection. We need to keep the bad guys out, say, okay, what are the threats and risks that we are being confronted with, what are the means and methods that we have to prevent the bad guys from getting in. However, as we all know, these guys are very creative. They will find their ways around the measures that we have put in place. So that means we also have to have capabilities in place to be able to detect that somebody did get into our network and is trying to do something really bad. So we have to focus on our detection capabilities. And that also means that we have to focus on our response capabilities. So as soon as we have identified somebody who should not be where he is, we need to make sure that we can adequately respond to this, that we can get the bad guys out. And finally, we need to have the capabilities to recover from such incidents very fast. And you all know also from the IT space that the detection times and the response times, that they are really key, and that we are, even though our capabilities have grown in the last 5 to 10 years, even though we are not able to detect an incident really at the moment when it happens. Sometimes it takes a couple of days, sometimes it's a matter of weeks from an attack being happening until an attack being detected. So that's really something we need to drive. So cybersecurity is really key in the digital world. It requires a holistic approach. It requires the ability to gather what we call threat intelligence, so really to be aware of what is happening. For example, within Siemens, we are managing a database of about 40,000 so-called indicators of compromise, indicators by which you can find out whether your network, your system has been attacked or not. We also look on monitoring components, so that's what I said. Beside prevention, we need detection capabilities. Therefore, monitoring is really key. Not only gather log files, but also look into the log files. What is happening? Is there something which shouldn't be there? Patch management is also a key in many incidents that we see, be it in the IT space or be it in the OT space. We see that people didn't apply the latest patches. Of course, in the industrial world, this can be a little bit tricky, as you're not always able to patch when you need it, also because of regulatory issues that you have to take into account, and also because of some safety aspects. For us at Siemens, security by design and privacy by design is really key for everything what we are doing. So we are addressing cybersecurity as an important factor of our development processes, but also in all our projects that we do. We also build on proven protection concepts so that our product managers know what are the proven concepts that they can apply to their products. We also have a lot of exchange with other people in the industries. We are part of so-called sharing alliances to share and exchange best practices here. As I said, detection capabilities are also key beside the prevention capabilities. Within Siemens, we have a couple of what we call cyber defense centers, which allow us to identify when the bad guys are in and which allow us to react as immediate as possible. So this allows us to monitor our own infrastructures, our own production sites, but it's also something that we are leveraging for the benefit of our customers. So what we provide to our customers are so-called managed security services. That means we have the capabilities to manage security on behalf of our customers with our so-called plant security services. So finally, what are the key takeaways? Security by design is really a key principle when it comes to digitalization. That should be the superior principle by which everything else is being guided. Security is nothing which you can end at the very end, starting with features and functions first and then thinking, okay, now I have to do security. No, you really have to do it right from the beginning. A key thing for the future are so-called adaptive security architectures, which are flexible to react to the things that are happening, particularly when your products have so long lifetimes as Siemens products have. Another thing is that security in the IT world and in the OT world are converging, so we have to be able to manage this convergence. And in many cases, we are being confronted with the fact that somebody says, okay, my production system is not being connected to the internet. This is something which doesn't any longer protect you, because since Stuxnet, we know that the so-called air gap is gone. As soon as somebody plugs in a USB stick to a device which is not connected to the internet, there is the ability that the system might be infected. So we have to take care of this. And finally, prevention and reaction, they are really a key. They are really a key priority here. So not only focus on the prevention of bad things from happening, but also focusing on the capabilities to react when something bad happened. So thank you very much for your attendance, and I hope you have the opportunity to take a look at our plant security services and have the ability to see what we as Siemens are doing and what we as Siemens could do for you. Thank you very much.
Safety first with Dr.